Evolve Your Brain by Joe Dispenza. Forward. Since you are holding this book in your hand, you may already be aware of the paradigm shift that is going on in science. In the old paradigm, your consciousness, you, is regarded as an epiphenomenon of your brain. In the new paradigm, your consciousness is the ground of being and your brain is the epiphenomenon. Feel better? Then you are ready to reap the benefit of this book. If consciousness is the primary ground and brain is secondary, then it is natural to ask how to use the brain in an optimal fashion to fulfill the purpose of consciousness and its evolution. The new paradigm research has been going on for a while, but this is the first book that addresses this question and brilliantly guides you toward that end. Truly, Dr. Joe Dispenza has written a user's manual par excellence for the brain, from the new primacy of consciousness perspective. Dr. Dispenza, not being a quantum physicist, does keep the primacy of consciousness implicit, not explicit, until the very end of the book. Because it requires quantum physics to see the primacy of consciousness explicitly, it may be useful for you, dear reader, to receive a little background information from a quantum physicist. Hence, this foreword. To go back to the beginning of the new paradigm revolution, quantum physics has a fundamental interpretational problem. It depicts objects not as determined things, but as waves of possibility. How do these possibilities become actual things of our experience when we observe or measure them? If you think that our brain, being the site of us or our consciousness, has the capacity to change possibility into actuality, think again. According to quantum physics, the brain itself consists of quantum possibilities before we measure it, before we observe with it. If we, our consciousness, were a brain product, we would be possibilities as well, and our coupling with the object would change neither the object nor us, our brain, from possibility to actuality. Face it, possibility coupled to possibility only makes bigger possibility. The paradox only thickens if you think of yourself dualistically, you as a non-material dual entity, not bound by quantum laws and separate from your brain. But if you are non-material, then how do you interact with your brain, in which you have not a thing in common? This is dualism, a philosophy intractable as science. There is a third way of thinking, and this one leads to a paradigm shift. Your consciousness is the primary fabric of reality, and matter, including the brain and the object you are observing, exists within this fabric as quantum possibilities. Your observation consists of choosing from the possibilities the one facet that becomes the actuality of your experience. Physicists call this process the collapse of the quantum possibility wave. Once you recognize that your consciousness is not your brain, but transcends it, once you recognize that you have the power to choose among possibilities, you are ready to act on Joe Dispenza's ideas and suggestions. It will help additionally to know that the you that chooses is a cosmic you, a state of consciousness available to you in non-ordinary situations. You reach such states when you have a creative insight. In those times, you are ready to make changes in your brain circuits. Dr. Dispenza shows you how. There is another reason that I think Dr. Joe Dispenza's book is a welcome addition to the growing literature of the new paradigm of science. He emphasizes the importance of paying attention to emotions. You may already have heard the phrase emotional intelligence. What does that mean? First of all, it means that you don't have to fall prey to your emotions. You do because you are attached to them, or as Joe Dispenza would say, you are attached to the brain circuits connected with the emotions. There is a story that when Albert Einstein was leaving Nazi Germany for America, his wife became very concerned that she had to leave behind so much furniture and other household items. "I am attached to them," she complained to a friend. To this, Einstein joked, "But my dear, they are not attached to you." This is the thing. Emotions are not attached to you because you are not your brain. You don't have to identify with your existing brain circuits. With regard to the concept of emotional intelligence, some writers are a little confused. They talk about emotional intelligence and how you can develop it, but they also insist that you are nothing but the brain. The problem in thinking that way is that the brain is already set up in a hierarchical relationship with the emotions. Emotional intelligence is possible only if you can change the existing hierarchy, only if you are not part of that hierarchy. Joe Dispenza recognizes the primacy of you, your consciousness, over your brain, and in doing so, he gives you some useful advice about emotional intelligence, about how to change your existing brain circuits and hierarchies. Gandhi's wife was once asked by a journalist how Gandhi could accomplish so much. "Simple," said the wife. "Gandhi is congruent in regards to his speech, thought, and action." All of us want to be good accomplishers. We want to fulfill the meaning and purpose of our lives. The crucial challenge is how to achieve synchrony between speech, thought, and action. Put another way, the challenge is to integrate thought and emotion. I believe that the evolution of consciousness demands this from us right now. Recognizing this, Joe Dispenza has provided indispensable knowledge on how you can integrate your feelings and thinking. I met Dr. Joe for the first time at the What the Bleep Do We Know conference. This movie, as you may know, is about a young woman who is struggling to change her emotional behavior. In a scene of catharsis, played beautifully by actress Marlee Matlin, the woman looks at her image in a mirror and says, "I hate you." In that moment, she frees herself to choose among quantum possibilities of change. She goes on to transform her brain circuits, creating a new state of being and a new life. You can change your brain circuits too. You have that power of quantum choice. We have always had the tools to do this, but only now have we become aware of how to use them. Dr. Joe Dispenza's book, Evolve Your Brain, will help you use your power to choose and to change. Read this book, use its ideas in your life, and realize your potential. Amit Goswami, PhD, Professor of Physics, University of Oregon, and author of The Self-Aware Universe.